How's it going everyone? Welcome back to my Battlefield 3 Loadout video series. Today I've got a well requested class that's been mentioned in the comments on lots of my previous episodes from this series so far. We've looked at lots of military force setups in the past, so I think now you all seem to want to see a setup for the other side and look at the terrorists. So in order to use the appropriate weapons and equipment to make a stereotypical terrorist character, we're going to go with the engineer setup, and it's worth mentioning that obviously this setup does not condone acts of terrorism or glorify terrorists in any way, and rather than base this setup on any real life examples, we'll just base it on how terrorists are depicted in movies. So let's get started and take a look at the weapons we're going to use as part of our terrorist class. As well as being the service rifle for various eastern nations, the AK rifle also seems to be stereotypically the weapon of choice for terrorists. Because we're using the engineer kit, we've got a choice out of all the carbines, and the AK weapon we've got in the engineer kit is the AKS-74u, and in movies we see the AKS-74u being used by terrorists, henchmen and various militia. A great example being the Somali militia leader Mawalim from the movie Black Hawk Down. Because these terrorist organisations are likely sourcing their weapons through the black market, they're not likely to have all the options of accessories like an established military force, so we'll leave all the options blank for our AKS-74u as part of our terrorist class and just use the weapon with the default iron sights and no customisation. And for the sidearm, none of these semi-automatic pistols really suit a terrorist class. So instead we'll just go with the simple MP412, which in real life is quite a popular Russian weapon, but we'll just use it to depict a typical revolver that's ended up falling into the wrong hands through the black market. So moving on to the gadgets and specialisations and camo for this terrorist class. The main reason we've chosen the engineer kit is to equip a rocket launcher, and no terrorist class would be complete without the RPG. If you just look at the list of movies that the RPG-7 has appeared in, with the exception of Rambo, you see the RPG used by various terrorists, militiamen and insurgents. In Battlefield 3, depending whether you're fighting for the US or Russian side, you'll either get the SMAW or the RPG-7. So if you really wanted to stay true to this class, then you'd only really use your rocket launcher when fighting for the Russians. In almost every movie, a terrorist is always associated with some kind of bomb. This could be a timed explosive set to destroy a popular US landmark, or even an improvised explosive device set at the side of the road. So in game we'll go with the AT mine to replicate this the best we can. Because we're using the RPG with the engineer kit, the explosive specialisation fits in perfectly, in that it's going to allow us to equip more rocket ammunition. Then back in the 20th century, if you were to describe a typical terrorist, you'd probably think of someone dressed in black with a balaclava robbing a bank somewhere in America. But nowadays the term terrorist is often associated with insurgents in the Middle East. So for our camo we'll go with the desert khaki pattern. So that's it for the terrorist class in Battlefield 3. Give it a try and let me know how you get on with it. As always, if you enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up just to help spread the word and share the video with your friends. If you've just stumbled across this video through YouTube search, don't forget you can subscribe to stick around for the rest of these Battlefield 3 loadout videos, and head over to my Battlefield 3 weapon guide playlist to check out my reviews on the various weapons. Feel free to come and give me some suggestions on future loadouts that you'd like to see me cover over on Twitter or Facebook. Otherwise, thanks for watching, I'll catch you all later.